Gilad, we finally have you on the show. I've been eager to say that all evening. Gilad, so good to have you on the show. Good evening, my good friend. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I can see the beard still very strong. Are you shaving? Like, what's going on with you? Are you taking care? Are you grooming?
It moved down here. But
it.
yeah, I mean, it's been a few months now that we've looked like this, and I've gotten a lot of love on social media for the new look, so I'm happy.
Well, what do you mean?
I'm sticking with it.
You look fine. You are so lucky. Look at you. Very lucky. All right, so now it's been a while, as you've mentioned. COVID has come. It has completely just interrupted with our worlds and our lives. What have you been doing? How have you been keeping sane?
I don't know. Last time I was out in public on stage was, I think, January. We had like a big show, crowd of 1,000 people. I remember it. I missed the energies. It was just a minute ago, and then they shut us away from the world. Right before it started, I sat down and said, okay, I'm going to use this time to write. And I sat down and started writing music, went into studio, started recording. So just recently released a new song after a long time of being quiet, too long.
Yes.
Pretty excited about it. It's getting such wonderful feedback. It's been a long time since I released the song, and people are writing and commenting, where have you been? I've been here, but
Why did it take you 6 months though? I mean, the year started, don't blame it on Corona, but why did it take so, why were you quiet? Was it a creative break that you were taking?
Creative break, but it just happened. Sometimes the lyrics don't come. Sometimes the music just doesn't come. They call it writer's block. So, I mean, I had a really interesting kind of block at the beginning of the year. And pretty much until March. I guess being locked in the house brought out my creativity, because just when they announced the lockdown and the closure and the curfew, I became very creative and wrote like 4 songs. So maybe I needed that. I was pretty much, the whole beginning of the year was kind of blocked for me,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are talking about it in the negative, but we have been saying, oh, I don't have time to do this. Oh, I don't have time to do that. And then the world stopped and said, okay, now we do have time. What is like, something positive that has so far come out of it, other than you getting your creativity back?
I mean, writing the music was one. I started farming, I started going into Kulimasay. We went into farming, started a project outside near Isinya within Nairobi Metropolitan, so we can still go to the farm every morning. So I've been keeping busy like that, starting something new. Like I said, writing, watching a lot of what everybody else is doing.
Have you watched The Last Dance?
Did the live show. Sorry?
Have you watched The Last Dance yet?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm like, listen, I'm a bit older than you, so I watched Michael
like I said, a bit. Gilad, like I said, a bit, but okay. What did you love about the document? What did you learn from it? I mean, so many lessons to be taken away from the greatness that is Michael Jordan. But what was your biggest takeaway?
He's a winner. I mean, and I mean, I've always, like, in my state of mind, I consider myself a winner, humbly said. But when I go out to do something, I go out to do it at my best and do my best. And when you watch, something like that, someone as great as Jordan, it's really inspiring. I remember watching Jordan in the day play. I watched all the games, in Israel, the time difference was a nighttime. So we'd get up at night and watch him play. But to watch the behind the scenes of the man, to get like a really personal look at what he was like, back in the day and even now, he's incredible. And so it's really inspiring.
Yeah. And, I was just saying right now as I started the show, talking about how sometimes it's so difficult and challenging for entertainers to take a stand, especially when it comes to something as icy as politics. Politics is very controversial. When you watch, the documentary, you see MJ never really sided with anyone, and he got a lot of flack for that. Taylor Swift just, was just saying that they're going to vote out Donald Trump. Have you ever felt that sort of, that conundrum where you're like, I don't know, should I say something or should I not? Or what are your thoughts about that?
Almost on a daily basis, I mean, I follow social media. So almost on a daily basis, you feel like, oh, okay, I want to say something about this. and I pick my battles very carefully. Like I was very open, posted about the late George Floyd and everything that happened in America now.
Yep.
Went straight to Instagram and posted what I thought about that.
Yeah.
And that I think these guys should go to jail for life, basically. But I mean, I pick my battles very carefully. There's something to say about everything. Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm a former diplomat, so I know how to choose my battles very carefully.
In fact, that's exactly why I wanted to pose that question, because you are a former diplomat. So you're very diplomatic with your words, very respectful. You know exactly how far you need to push it. You know what I mean? But also still being very respectful while at it. But I do want to hear your thoughts about it. You know what I mean? The whole story about George Floyd just evoked so much emotion, like I said, and this was, just felt globally. And this is not the first time we're hearing about racism in America. Of course, it's something that they continuously and consistently experience. I mean, what is your take on the entire situation as you've been following this whole case about George Floyd?
I mean, as a general comment, America, wake up. You're blind to what's going on in your own country. And without generalizing too much, but absolutely, white people have it wrong in America, and the police treat people differently, whether you're black or whether you're white. I think it's a terrible situation. And I love the fact, I mean, of course, it's very sad, everything that happened with George Floyd and what's happening in Minnesota right now. And Donald Trump's remarks are absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that's not a first. But I mean, what's interesting to see is that artists, and I mean, of course, you follow people on social media. So you see that people are really standing up. Of course, you see Jamie Foxx and you see Snoop Dogg and you see African-American celebrities standing up. But you're also seeing The Rock and you're seeing Gal Gadot, who's an Israeli, Wonder Woman, very openly, and you're seeing a lot of people commenting. So it seems like this time everybody sees that it's really crossed the line. I mean, for God's sake, he had his knee on the guy's head and he killed him like that. And he didn't see him as a human being. And people are standing around going, you're killing the guy. And he didn't stop, which means he just didn't see him as a human being, which is, as detached as you can get, as terrible as you can get.
Yeah, that is very true.
And he should be punished.
Yes. And
my post was that being fired is just not enough.
It's not enough. And, he's had cases dating back from 2001. That's, the specific officer that you were referencing right now with his knee, I think, or his leg on George Floyd's neck. And it's so sad. But, when we bring it back home, we relate to it in terms of class, though. Where the police, we hear about the brutality when it comes to the slum areas here in Kenya. You know what I mean? We see these videos, too, constantly being shared, and it's just so unfortunate, and it needs to stop.
Absolutely. I mean, when Corona broke out at the beginning, when the first days of the curfew, we saw the police being very violent here, and the president later apologized for that. But I mean, there's no question, on a personal level, I don't like bullies. So a bully is one who has more strength and then takes it out on the weaker person. If the police have power and they use it in the wrong way, then they're bullies, and that's wrong. That's just straightforward opinion.
Yeah. Wait, was there a story there about the bullies, or it's just, your personal stand? Like, was there an experience with the bullies back before?
No, I've always, when we were kids and some guy would walk on the football field and take the ball because he was bigger, I'd be the first one to jump on him. Simple like that. It's right, to take advantage of any power that you're in. If you're a gatekeeper or if you're a person in power, you can't, or if you're just stronger, to take it out on the weaker person, to use it like that, that's a trigger for me. I'm against that, and I'll stand up against it when I can.
I love that. I really do. Something else I love? Eric Omondi did a version of Najua, talking about how people just need to hang in there. We're going to come out of it. Did you checked it out? I bet you reposted it, right?
I reposted it. Are you kidding? I called Eric and I said, we should do a collab together. Dude, you can sing.
Nice.
Eric can sing.
Nice.
But Eric and I go back. We've done gags before where we had one on where we posted it, where I was standing with it. We were doing a benefit for cancer together, but we were killing time waiting to be called from the parking lot. So I stood with a guitar and he drove up and dropped a coin in my hand, supporting a poor musician.
That is typical, Eric. The song goes on and on and on and on, and it's pretty long. And it's so interesting. First of all, Eric has added weight, which is a shock, you know, and it looks really, really good now. And I love how he is so creative. He's constantly just posting content, and it's just this really. Things have really changed. And, you know, for you as a performer, you know, the virtual performances, the live performance, the virtual performances are now becoming the new norm. And you were just talking about, you know, missing stage. What is the main thing you miss so much about that live interaction with your audience?
See, that's it. That's the one thing that, I mean, I just did the We Are One Africa concert with NRG, you know, raising money for AMREF. And they have another one tomorrow, so I'm involved in that. And it's great to perform, but you're looking into a camera. You can't feel the energy of the people. Human beings have energy. When you stand in front of 1,000 people in a crowd, you can feel the energy of the people. You can feel their power, their passion. You feed off that, you know, and it energizes your performance. When you're alone, and, you know, like you saw, Giuliani did a live, Nyashinsky did a live, and when they're done with the song, they're like, okay, there's no applause, there's no feedback, let me just keep going. So I really miss that, and I hope, you know, God gives us a chance to go back to some sort of normal life, that we get to perform in front of a real audience and feel the crowd.
Yeah, so let's talk about that concert. We Are One Africa. Tell me about it.
Okay, it's NRG driven, and it's raising money for AMREF, for what AMREF's doing to support those on the front lines, doctors, nurses, with equipment, with training. And it happened last weekend, last Saturday night. It's happening again tomorrow night. And it's pretty much everybody who you can think of in the East African or African music industry. I think Bebe Cool, Nyash, Sauti Sol, everybody's involved. I did my own acoustic piece from home. Just me and a quarter of Superband. I really miss Superband, by the way. Like, we're like a family, and now there's only like, so we were guitar player with Dan and Sewe, who's the keyboard player, and we did a very acoustic version. But it's not the same as performing big, but we had fun, and it was aired. People responded well.
Yeah. And it is what it is. All right, so now we do have a snippet of your acoustic performance, so let's have a look. You know, the first time I heard this song, Gilad, I remember thinking, oh my days, who is that? Where did he come from? I remember when we met, I was like, you're sure you did this? I was like, and you know how to speak Swahili like that? And now you're back though with another smash. The song is called Mawingu. Tell us about Mawingu.
Mawingu, I think, is like my 20-something song already. It's been like past 20 songs that I've released since Unajua, you know, and stuck with it. And Mawingu is about a guy who's sitting at home, waiting and hoping his girl will come home. It's just, I was sitting at home when they locked us down, and I came up with a line, Chakula kiko tayari kwenye meza, but you're not here. And then I just ran with it. And the clouds were around, and it was raining, and it was dark, and so the song evolved into that. But I mean, the music video is getting a lot of love on YouTube, so you can check it out. It's on Boomplay, and it's getting a lot of plays there. So audio or video, whatever your choice is. But I mean, personally, you know, it's hard to talk about your own music, but I'm really connected to the song. I like the way it turned out. We went back to basics and produced the song with MG, who was the same producer who produced Unajua and Sema Milele and Rangi Bahari. So I went back to the first studio, you know, and tried to go back to roots, and we came up with a very cool sound.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you haven't yet, you need to go and check it out. Do we have a clip of the song? Oh man, we don't have it, but you should go and check it out. All right, so the song is called Mawingu. DJ Ezo does have the song. We're going to play that as we take a break. Now, it's been so good chatting with you, Gilad, but I want to ask you a few questions so that we could just know a bit more about Gilad right now as you are at home. What is that one app that you are most addicted to, and why?
The one app?
Yes.
I'll go to Instagram first, usually, because that's where things are happening here. I'll admit that I've been trying to wink towards TikTok, but it's like I'm a bit lost there. So Instagram is still my base.
Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram is kind of where you catch up with the people who I follow, and I'm very selective that I follow friends. So yeah, that's the one.
Man, I know. TikTok is also a struggle. Even for me, I'm like, I want to join in. I want to dance just for 6 seconds. You can do it. I can't. It's just so much. What is the one thing that you cannot live without? Other than, of course, family.
But I can't live with... what can't I live without? Music. Music. It's always been in my life forever.
All right. Sauti Sol just released a song, Insecure. I don't know if you heard it. It's a wonderful song. Their vocals on that is just, Now, what are you so insecure about yourself that you can share with us?
Insecurity. When I gain weight is when I start feeling insecure. For me, it's always been gaining weight, losing weight my whole life. I'm up, I'm down, 5 kgs this way, 5 kgs that way. And the moment I get up too much is when I start thinking, oh, you know, people don't think I'm this or I'm that. Always in my life, even sometimes as a kid, I was overweight, then I lost weight. So that battle of keeping down, up has always been my insecurity.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Gilad. I have to ask you one last question. All right. So now, would you rather be forced to dance every time you heard music or to be forced to sing along to any song you ever heard?
Sing along for me is better than dancing, definitely.
I've seen Gilad dancing, everyone. He's not lying. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, Gilad. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you check out his brand new song. It's called Mawingu. Follow him on social media. Tell everyone your pages to follow right now.
At Gilad Milo on Instagram, at Gilad Milo on Twitter, at Gilad Life on Facebook, and my YouTube is Gilad.
All right, there you go. Thank you so much, Gilad. Hey. And anaitwa Balozi wa mapenzi. Yes, you wanted to say something? Oh, okay, now he's gone. All right, so now after the break, super excited. Mbusi, tutakuwa tunazungumza mambo kadha wa kadha. Kama kuna swali tumesaiba hiyo hashtag ni Hamina at the Trend Live on Twitter. DJ E's got Mawingu. We're going to play that as we take a break. We're going to be back with more.